Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Natural Animal Podcast. Now, today I've decided to talk with you about energy and energy healing. And the reason why I've thought that this would be useful for you is because last week's episode was about animal communication. Next week's episode is about animal communication also, plus some other related concepts. And so kind of like a through line or an underlying aspect of those is energy. And so I know that in last week's one we did briefly touch on energy healing, and we certainly do next week as well, I think. And even in the episode with Jacqueline, when we discussed kinesiology, energy was mentioned there too. So you could kind of put these four into a series of more of like an esoteric, spiritual focused, energy focused kind of like theme. So if you haven't listened to Jacqueline's one yet, my chat with Jacqueline, have a listen to that one. Save that in your episodes to listen to. Listen to last week's, which was with my friend Jenny Madison, and listen to next week's too. But you can stay listening to today's. They don't need to be listened to in any particular order. So by all means, don't stop this and go and try and find the other episodes. I'll link to the other episodes in the show notes to this one as well to make it super, super easy for you. So this episode is designed to give you a better understanding about energy, what it is and how it works, and how it can be utilized to support your animal, but also you, and why it's important to take care of energy, why it's important to have good energy hygiene. So we're going to be discussing what is energy healing, what is energy, how does energy healing work, styles of energy healing, energy that exists within humans and animals, the animal chakra system, how I use energy with animals, and tips on balancing energy. Hello and welcome to the Natural Animal Podcast. I'm your host, Ruth Hatton. I'm an animal naturopath and just mega animal lover in general. Here on the show, we share thoughts and ideas about the nature of animals, their preferences, their behaviours, their ways of being, to engender a greater understanding, respect, compassion and love for all animals, companion, farm and wild. I hope you enjoy this show and I hope you love this week's episode. So let's get right into it because as always, I think with these solo shows, I'll just keep it to a half an hour, but it never happens that way. So I expect this to go to like 45 to an hour, depending on how much ad-libbing I do. So let's get stuck into it. What is energy healing? So really briefly answering this question for you. It is the use of energy or energies to return the body to a state of well-being, to return a body to its natural balance, its natural state. Energies assist the body to do what it does naturally, which is heal itself. And so what exactly is this energy that does this miraculous thing, right, that I'm talking to you about? Well, there's energy that we have inside of us that gives us kind of like, the get up and go. Not really talking about that energy today, right? Like, how your energy levels low, high, and, when I interview clients about their animals, how, what are their animals' energy levels, low, high, average, what have you. That's a different kind of energy. The energy that I'm talking about in the context of energy healing or in the context of spirituality is most simply regarded as life force energy. It is the energy that permeates all living things. It's referred to as the living principle or the vital principle, the animating force, that which gives life to something. Prana, chi, spirit. There are very, very many different ways in every language, in every culture of referring to energy. but it essentially means this life force, this animating, vital force, right? It flows through all of us, like within our bodies and around us. All around us, there is this life force energy within us and within everything. It is the creation force. You could say it is the creation principle. It created everything that is living. Everything that we see around us is created by this life force energy, this vital force. It is available from the sun, the earth, the ground, the air, and the universe. If you are, you might also want to think of energy that comes from angels, archangels, God, goddess, right? All of this we can have access to, the energetic principle, the energetic forms that flow from these divine entities, from the divine. It exists within us now. It exists outside of us. It exists forever, for eternity. It is the essence of us that never, ever dies. So that's energy. That's what, when I think about all the definitions of energy, that's what resonates with me. And so that's what I share with you. How does energy healing work? Well, energy healing utilizes this energy, this vital force energy, right? Energy is called upon and channeled to clear and energize the body, the energy within the human, within the animal. All energy healing modalities require training. However, some people do have the ability, and when you look at the different energy healing modalities, this is how they have come through for humans to utilize, is through channeling. So there are some people that will use some practitioners that use a specific healing modality or a variety of healing modalities, and some that use their own that they have channeled through as well. So the energy is called upon, right? From, I said it comes from the universe, from the divine, from the sun, from the air, from the earth. So that energy that exists, that pure energy is called upon, is channeled to clear and energize. Hey, Maxie. Maxie's is like, yes, give me some energy. He's due for an energy healing today, aren't you, darling? So I said that all energy modalities require training. Many of those require what's called attunements, where specific sacred symbols are placed into the student to access the different aspects of energy. So the energy that is being channeled then gets integrated into the being, rebalancing and healing the body. Whenever you're receiving or your animal is receiving and the practitioner, say me, is channeling that energy, what is first noticed is this sublime state of calm, this peace, this relaxation. And I feel that, like, when I finished a healing session or even during the healing, I am so zen, I am so relaxed. And what happens is when the body is relaxed, that is when healing occurs. It's like with sleep. When you sleep, when your animal sleeps, the body regenerates. It's the same thing with energy. It can be used for emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual benefits. So, for example, if there are particular health challenges, or behavioral challenges. And so if we think about with animals, a particular health challenge, there might be dysfunction within the body. There might be an organ, kidney or liver, that's not functioning optimally. There could be a physical state like itchy skin, cancer, any kind of physical health challenge, digestive issues, what have you. Energy healing can assist with that. Then if we look at the example of behavioral challenges, so things like separation anxiety, where there's been past trauma and healing that past trauma. And I'm going to explain in more detail. I'm going to come back to this topic of how does it work soon. But before I come back to that, I want to talk about the different styles or modalities of energy healing. So the most well-known, and you've probably heard of it yourself, is Reiki. Now, Reiki is universal energy, universal life force healing energies. It comes from spirit, from the universe, right? It harmonizes and rebalances the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. It focuses or it functions on the energy body first. So I'm using a separation there between the energy body and the physical body. Different energy healing modalities will have, I guess you could say, a stronger or more focused emphasis on physical or energy body. With Reiki, the initial focus is on the energy body first. Traditionally, Reiki is used for the treatment of physical issues. It's used to complement other treatments. And in fact, all energy healing modalities are a complementary modality. When we're talking about disease, whether it's a physical disease or an emotional disease, particularly when it's a physical disease, it works best when the physical body is being treated simultaneously or alongside the energetics, right? So energy healing is not, you can do it, you can use it as a standalone treatment. You can use physical body treatments as standalone treatments, but you will get the best benefit when they are used in a complementary fashion. So Reiki works on people, plants, animals, even machines. You can Reiki your car to keep it safe and working well. It increases vitality and stamina. It enhances personal and spiritual evolution. Its origins are in Japan. So that's Reiki. Seishem is another form of energy healing. It originates from Egypt and it is connected with the goddess Sekhmet. Now, Sekhmet, an ancient Egyptian goddess, is the goddess of sun, war, destruction, plagues, and healing. She is said to be the daughter of the sun god Ra. And Seishem was said to be translated and transcribed from hieroglyphics. Seishem has its origins in divine feminine energy. So when using Seishem, it feels like a softer, more flowing energy. That's my experience of it anyway. Pranic healing or pranic energy healing originates from the Vedic literature of India, as well as from other ancient traditions and schools of yoga and esoteric sciences. Traditional Chinese medicine is an example of an esoteric science or an ancient tradition that you can see parts of in pranic. It utilizes energy from the sun, from the air, and from the ground or the earth. There is aspects of it in higher levels of pranic healing that does use divine energies as well as atmospheric energies. And by atmospheric, I'm referring to sun, air, ground, right? It is said to represent a union of science and spirituality. There's also Ashati and Alsemia. Now, these are based on the process of energetic ascension from consciousness, starting with the physical body, including the brain, through to higher dimensions, that is, higher consciousness and spiritual consciousness. It's about the connection between the physical and the energy self. And Alsemia is nature healing energy. So kind of similar to, I guess, pranic in a certain extent, in terms of the energies that are being channeled or called through are the energies of nature. But they also include not just the sun and the air and the ground, but also nature energy beings. So nature elementals, fairies, elves, trees, plants as well. So plant energies, right? They focus in Alsemia, the focus is on clearing, balancing, and healing the energies, energy structures, and the energy bodies directly affecting the physical body, its health and development. So I share these Reiki, Seishem, Pranic, Ashati, Alsemia, 5 modalities with you, because these are the modalities that I am trained in, that I am attuned to, that I practice, that I use on myself, on my own animals, on my clients' animals in my work. There are various other modalities as well. There is a long, long, long list of energy healing modalities. Perhaps you have training in another as well, or you're aware of another. Energy healing can help to unlock the natural healing ability, like I said before, that innate ability to heal itself, to heal ourself, both human and non-human animals. And it does this by helping the mind and body to relax, which then allows for a rebalance of systems within the body. And then ultimately, that is when the healing begins. And as I mentioned, these are, best used as complementary therapies. So how does the energy work within humans and animals? So we have our physical bodies, which there is energy in our physical body, right? But outside of our physical bodies, we also have energy bodies, also referred to as subtle bodies. Now, depending upon the lineage, subtle bodies range in number from 3 to 7. They might include the etheric, and I'm going to say these, they basically exist. If you can imagine you don't need to imagine, but if you look at your physical body, your animal's physical body, you can see it. You can see the lines around that physical body. It's very obvious to the eye, right? But then if you imagine around that physical body, there are other bodies. Best to kind of imagine as lines, as like circles or oblong shapes or spheres or egg shapes around the physical body, right? Like a field. I'm talking about energy fields. I'm talking about the aura. So I'm going to say each of these subtle bodies as they extend out from the physical body. So first we have the physical body, and then there is the etheric body. Then there is the emotional body. Then there is the mental body. Then there is the astral body, the celestial, and the causal bodies. Each of these bodies correspond with the chakras, the energy centers within the body. And I'm going to talk to you about the chakras in a sec. So in simple terms, the subtle bodies extend outward beyond the physical frame. They have an energetic component, and this energy courses through all of us. Each of the subtle body, as I think I said, links to a major or a physical body chakra. And each subtle body exists in the surrounding energy field, or the energy field that surrounds the physical body of the human and the animal. Disease is said to start in one of the subtle bodies before it manifests into the physical body. And this is why, regular energy healing can be really powerful, because it can catch onto an imbalance in a subtle body before that energy has the chance to create a physical disease. don't think I need to repeat that. I mean, I will, because I think it's a really important point. Because oftentimes we think about, whether it's for ourselves, for our animals, things have gone to shit, need to go and get an energy healing session. But that's a reactive approach. And it's like that saying, prevention is better than cure. So taking a proactive or a preventative approach is always going to be better, right? So it's like I said, having that, we do the things for the physical body for preventative purposes. We eat or feed the healthy diet, right? We have access to air, sun, move the body, all of those things that support the physical body health. But what about supporting the health of the energy body? And when we do that regularly as a preventative measure, we can prevent disease from occurring, because we are catching the disease or the energy blockage, the congested energy, the depleted energy, the dense energy. We are observing that energy, and we are clearing that energy out of the subtle body before disease can present in the physical body. So let's talk about chakras. So so we've spoken about the energy bodies of the subtle bodies. We've also got the chakras and the meridians. So I want to talk about the chakras first. So they are energy centers. They are like spinning wheels or vortexes throughout the body. There are physical body chakras, but there are also chakras outside of the physical body. In those subtle bodies, there are chakras as well. Chakras that connect us right up into spirit, into the universe, right? To God. So they are like whirling masses of energies. They distribute and move energy through us. They move both clockwise and anti-clockwise. They draw in energy, they dispel unwanted energy. So everywhere there is energy, and at any given moment, your chakra, your animal chakras are drawing in energy from external sources. And then those chakras are spinning, they're drawing in energy, they're dispelling out energy that's not wanted. In, out, and around. Chakras are not moving all the time. They can stop for a period of time, usually during sleep or rest. They're like gates. Imagine like little energy gates, right? And through which energy can move in or out or through. The chakras are constantly responding to the energy within us and the energy around us in our environment, and they're constantly responding. They will have a response. It might be a buildup of density, of darkness, of grey, right? And over time, if that is not dispelled or not cleared out, that dense energy can increase and result in physical disease. When the chakras are vital and healthy, the body is vital and healthy. So chakras are something that should be balanced, or should be, you do a bit of an energy workout every day, a chakra workout. Do your chakra exercises every day. In the same way that, moving the physical body every day is beneficial for health, energizing and balancing, and exercising, the chakras are beneficial for energetic health. And there are various ways that you can do that, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of today's show. So within the body, there are different types of chakras. There are major chakras and minor chakras, and we'll discuss those more when I talk about the animal chakra system specifically. Basically, in the human body, I will say that there are considered to be anywhere between 7 and 12 physical body chakras, and then there's chakras that go outside of the physical body. So at the physical level, each major chakra manages a portion of the body. So, and that each chakra is responsible for the vitality and health of the area that it manages. And when we work directly on those chakras, we can increase the health and vitality of that part of the body. We can help to heal disease in that part of the body. If a chakra is unbalanced, it's congested, or it's depleted, the organs managed by that chakra can weaken and can lose vitality. And almost every illness can be treated by a chakra or a combination of chakras. So the next kind of aspect in terms of how energy exists within the body is the meridians. Exists and flows through the body is the meridian. So there are 12 main meridians in the body, as well as the governing meridian and the central meridian. Energy flows through these meridians. They're kind of, energy channels or energy highways, right? Or energy paths. And each meridian connects to certain points within the body. They connect to each of the chakras. And the meridians are most well known or most well observed in traditional Chinese medicine. And in traditional Chinese medicine, we have those acupoints, acupressure or acupuncture points. And these points are situated along the meridians, along these energy channels within the body. And when particular points are stimulated, they release energy. They assist in the flow of energy through the body, and increasing the flow of energy helps with healing, because it loosens and clears stuck energy. Now, so we've got the subtle bodies, the chakras, and the meridians. There are also these things that are called energy ties or energy cords, and because we are connected energetically to one another, and the connection occurs through these ties and these cords. And to give you an example, you might go out in the world, go to the shops, and you come back home and your energy is just horrible. The potential is that a cord has been created, or a tie has been created, an energetic tie, and you've picked up on some energy, or an attachment has been created. You can cut those cords, you can cut those ties. You can imagine the tie. You can do it yourself through visualization or through feeling. You can imagine that there's a tie at some point in the body. The ties will connect usually to a chakra, often the heart, the solar plexus, the spleen, other chakras as well, sometimes depending on the connection. You can imagine a knife, a crystal, or just your hands slicing through and cutting those cords. It's a really good exercise to do when you come home, to clear the energy. With those that we love, our family members, our friends, our animals, these cords, you don't necessarily want to cut those cords, right? Because these are cords that are healthy. And these are cords that connect us together, that help with our connection, to help with our bond. And usually these will be heart-to-heart cords, heart-to-heart connections. So I want to take you through now the animal chakra system. So within the animals, there are 8 major chakras. Now, you might recall that I said in the human, there are 7 to 12. Most commonly, there's considered to be known 7, right? Most commonly known within the animals is 8. I am just talking about major chakras at the moment. So the major chakras within the animal they are the same 7 that are in the human: the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakras. Animals have those 7 chakras as well, but they also have an 8th chakra called the brachial chakra. The brachial chakra is the main energy center of animals. It links directly to all of their other chakras, major and minor. It's situated between the shoulders, And it relates to, as well as connecting to all other chakras within the animal's body, it relates to the animal-human connection. It is the center where the animal-human bond is formed and held or carried. And for any energy healing that happens on animals, healing should always begin at the brachial chakra because it is the main energy center, but also because of that connection point, that animal-human connection. So when I'm doing healing sessions on animals and I will start on the brachial, well, I'll bring the energy down through the crown, but then my first kind of treatment aspect is on the brachial chakra because I'm establishing a connection with the animal, and that is the chakra where that connection is formed, right? Now, the brachial chakra relates in terms of, you may recall that I said each chakra relates to a part of the body. The brachial chakra on animals relates to the chest, the neck, the forelimbs, so the front legs, and the head as well. Next is the crown chakra. So this is on top of the head. It connects to spirit. It has, oh, I forgot to tell you, the brachial, the color, because each chakra has a color. And the color that the brachial chakra is believed to be is black. It's sometimes also depicted as silver or as a browny gold. The crown is at the top of the head. It connects to spirit. It is the color of violet. And the body parts the crown chakra relates to is the brain, the pituitary gland, the skin, the spine, the central and autonomic nervous systems, and the cranial sacral system. The third eye is at the center of the forehead, just above the eyes. It's also at the base of the head, the back of the head. And it corresponds with self-acceptance. And it's a color dark blue. And it relates to the head, the pineal gland, natural body rhythms, and the higher mental self. Going down from the third eye is the throat. And the throat chakra relates obviously to the physical throat, front and back of the throat. There are chakras there. It corresponds with communication. It is a light blue in color, and the physical body parts that it corresponds to are the throat, the mouth, the teeth, and the jaws. Next, going down the body, we have the heart, and this is at the front of the chest to behind the forelegs of the animal. In animals, it corresponds with herd hierarchy, so relationships can also correspond with the relationship your animal has with you, but the brachial kind of has a bigger emphasis on that. It's the color of green. It corresponds with the heart, the lungs, the immune system, and the thymus gland. Next, going down, we have the solar plexus, which is at the middle of the back. It's also at the front of the body, between the heart, below the heart. And it corresponds with personal power, sense of self. It can often be depleted in domestic animals because they can lose that sense of power, that personal power that wild animals still retain because of the environment they live in. They're so independent, right? And whereas the companion animals are so dependent upon us. So they can have that depletion of the solar plexus. It's the color yellow, and it corresponds with the digestive tract, the stomach and the liver mainly in terms of digestion. Then going down, we have the sacral, also the spleen chakra. It's located in the lower lumbar area between the tail and the middle of the back, and then also between the genitals and the stomach. So the front and the back of the body. Corresponds with sexuality and emotion. It is the color orange, and physically it's connected to the kidneys, the adrenal glands, the reproductive system, and the lymphatic system. And finally, the last of the physical chakras is the root chakra, or the basic chakra. It's situated where the tail meets the body. the hind quarters, the back legs. It corresponds with survival and grounding. It is the color red and relates to the intestines, the gut, the hips, the hind legs, and the muscular and skeletal systems. So they're the physical body chakras. And you see how I told you about the representation of each of them within the physical body. So when there is disease or a disturbance or an imbalance in a particular area of the physical body, you can look and identify which chakra is affected. And then from that, we can work out which chakra needs to be supported, needs to be rebalanced, basically, to help to create that innate healing. So animals also have 21 minor chakras. These are sensory centers situated on the nose, the tail, and the ears. They support the functioning of the major chakras. So example, the spleen chakra is considered a minor chakra, but it also supports the sacral chakra and other chakras as well. Animals also have what are called, such a cute name, I love it, bud chakras. There are 6 bud chakras. They're on each foot and on the skin at the base opening of each ear. They are really, really receptive to subtle energy vibrations. So like weather changes, thunderstorms, earthquakes, hurricanes. It's why your animal can sense a storm is coming before you can, because of their little bud chakras. The bud chakras on the feet allow the animal to, this is so cool, allow the animal to locate specific energies within the ground that are beneficial to them. So you might see your animal scratching at a particular part of ground and they lie there. It's like they know, oh, there's some good energy in there. I just need to lay here for a bit and ground myself, ground into this energy. Because animals have such a high level of energy intelligence. They know when they need to ground. They are very instinctual. And as a result of that, their chakras are usually much brighter and larger compared to ours, because they have this instinctual nature. I need to go and find some energies in the ground and just lie there for a bit. Or I can feel that there's good energy here that I need. I'm just going to lie here, right? We don't really have that innate instinctual ability. We may be able to develop it, but animals, it just comes naturally. Even though they have this like extrasensory perception of energy and what they need to when they need to balance and what they need to balance their energy centers, they might not always be able to repair energetic imbalances, and this is where we can see disease arise. So they need a little bit of a helping hand, right? And again, remembering prevention is better than cure. If you're trained in energy healing, regularly heal your animals. If you're not trained and you want to seek out assistance from a practitioner, monthly sessions as a regular preventative would be really beneficial. So wild animals, I find this really interesting too. So when I mentioned how just between animals and humans, the chakras of animals are usually much brighter and larger. There's also differences between wild animals and domestic animals. So wild animals, the heart chakras tend to be more developed because they have a stronger hierarchy than domestic or companion animals. The root chakras also tends to be more developed because they have a stronger sense of survival. They need to in the wild, right? Also, the solar plexus can be more developed in wild compared to domestic. You may recall that I mentioned that in domestic animals, the solar plexus can often be depleted because they have that certain loss of power. When animals are desexed or when they're neutered, this can affect their sacral or spleen chakra. So there might be some repair, some rebalancing that needs to be done. Really good to do that post neutering, and even before, pre and post, to strengthen and then to rebalance. Now, that's all I want to say. Well, that's all I've got down to say about chakras. I think that's a lot already to give you like a kind of initial glance at the animal chakra system. I've often thought about creating a course on animal chakras. It's not something that I've done. It hasn't gone past the thought processes. There have been aspects of the chakra system that I have taught in previous courses, but I would, have often thought about just making a standalone animal chakra course or training. It would probably need to be a course or a series of masterclasses. I don't think one masterclass would cut it, because I'd really want to give you the opportunity for us to go deep and explore and even have some practice sessions. As I think about it, I get even more excited about it. So let me know if that's something that you would be interested in. And if I get enough interest, I'll be more than happy to put something together. So how do I use energy healing with animals? Most of the time, if not all the time really these days, I'm conducting energy healings over distance, also called remote energy healing. When I first started out doing energy healing, I was doing a lot of home visits and working like in the animals, directly with the animal, like face to face, body to body, hands to hands kind of thing, in their physical space. Over time, this changed really when I moved from Brisbane to the Sunshine Coast in 2019. Certain incidents happened to me where I was essentially put in a place of danger, being attacked by dogs. It was very bizarre to me at the time. And like anything, the benefit of hindsight, when we look back and we go, that's why that happened. And so I was going to people's houses and I was doing energy healing, but there were times, these animals had sensitivities. They had past traumas. And so it wasn't like I was, intentionally showing, acting in a way that would cause them to be aggressive. But there were certain instances where there was an aggressive response by the animal. It was always dogs. And so I had a dog that I knew he was about to do it, because he did this kind of little, just the expression on his face changed, and his kind of like lip kind of went up like he was about to growl. And so I jumped away. The human was there and she could see it too. So she was able to grab the dog, and I wasn't attacked in that instance. But there was obviously something that I was doing, or just being in his energy, instilled fear, or maybe a memory of something that had happened before that did cause him fear. And so his instinct was to react, right? And like I said, it wasn't necessarily anything that I was doing, but was really something that I was doing, giving him Reiki, because at that point I was just trained in Reiki. But yeah, it triggered something within him for him to basically react in a way to defend himself, yeah? And then there was another instance where I wasn't doing a healing, but I was just walking down the street, minding my own business, and a dog came out of the house and ran across the road towards me. And I just thought he was excited to see me and wanted to have a pat. Next thing I know, my leg is in his mouth and I'm screaming and swearing, F-bombing everywhere, right? Because I was just like, what the fuck? So that was incident number 2. And at that point, I was like, why is this happening? Why? Because I started to notice the pattern. Why am I getting attacked by dogs? How is this going to impact my business? Because I work with dogs. Oh my God. Am I not going to be able to do my business anymore? Like, these were the kind of thoughts that were running through my mind. And then there was a third incident when I went to the dog's house. The first treatment was fine. No issues. The human said that there might be an issue, but there wasn't. The second time I went, he actually went for my face. He caught my face. It was red. He didn't break any skin. And I had to say to the human, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to treat your animal in person anymore because it's just too dangerous for me. So there was this pattern of 3, and I didn't make any decision at that point in time. I didn't make any decision at all, really. But what happened was I got significantly less bookings for in person. So essentially, I got less local bookings. I was getting more bookings from across the country in different states, in different cities, in different countries across the world. So what I saw start to develop was the pattern of people are booking in from all over the world, all over the country for remote healings. The remote healing is what I need to be doing. And it's very rare. I still do get requests for people who want me to go and see their animal for energy healing. And depending on where they're situated, that can be an option. But most of the time it's remote, via distance. And over the course of doing energy healing, both in person and via distance, I have come to the conclusion that with animals, distance works better. And the reason for that is there's less distraction. One of the core aspects of an effective energy or a beneficial energy healing session, whether it's a human or an animal, is the being needs to be relaxed, right? So if the animal is distracted, the animal is not relaxed. And I always remember I was trying to massage a dog and someone was going in the kitchen and was making food, and hello, dogs, kitchen, food, distraction, right? Another time I went to do an energy healing for some dogs at their home, and I said to her, no one is allowed to go into the kitchen whilst I'm here. If you need to get food, get it now, please. I have very strong boundaries because I want the animal to get the best of the healing, right? So when I'm doing it remotely, there's no distractions. And when I'm talking about that, it's not just a distraction of the animal, it's also a distraction for me. I need to be really clear and focused on the animal when I'm doing an energy healing session. I am channeling energy, and my focus, I have to have a very clear intention for it to be effective. I need to have that focus on calling the energy in and channeling that energy in and sending it out to the animal where the animal needs it. Some energies have their own intelligence and will go wherever it needs to go because it knows. Others, I need to direct it, right? So I need to be clear and not distracted. So when I'm doing remote healings, I'm doing them from my home. I have a whole setup in my home that allows me to have quiet, to be in a state of relaxation. And I also really focus, place importance on when I'm doing the remote healings. I take the human through a relaxation practice at the beginning because it's important that they are relaxed as well. It's all focused on having a relaxed animal and making sure the environment around the animal is relaxed. Because when you're relaxed, your animal is relaxed. If you're busy doing stuff and you're stressing out and all that, your animal is not going to get the best of that healing session. Yeah. So yeah, essentially I find they work better remotely because that distraction isn't there. And as I said, I'm also in my own, setup at home with the energies the way that I like them. It works for me, which means it works for the animal. Now, I often get asked, how does it work when you're not here? Don't you need to be in the animal's presence? No. We're talking about energy. Now, humans, we have this default to receive a benefit, it has to be physically present. It's got to be in the body or on the body, right? But that's not true with energy, with the types of energies that we're using in energy healing. It's a form of quantum biology, right? Or quantum physics. At a quantum level, there is no time and no space, and therefore no distance. Energy exists at a quantum level. It is not bound by time or space, and therefore distance, right? It also has no past or future. And so with energy healing, we can actually program it. I can program for a healing to occur in the past. I can program for a healing to occur in the future. Because of this the quantum biology. Now, in this quantum biology, there's what's called quantum mechanics, and there are 3 premises of quantum mechanics. And apologies for that, I didn't warn you that I was going to get all sciencey on you. But there's quantum superposition, quantum entanglement, and wave-particle duality. Quantum superposition is basically a premise that a particle can exist in multiple places and states simultaneously. I'm going to define these for you, and then I'll come back and give you like a simple explanation for how it works, right? Quantum entanglement is 2 particles separated by time and space, but they act as if they are a single entity and they influence each other. And the third one, wave-particle duality, is all about particles, hence the name, wave-particle duality. Particles can be both wave-like and particle-like simultaneously. So what does all that mean? There's a load of documentaries on quantum physics. If you're interested in this, you want to nerd out on it, go and check it out. Einstein is believed to have called it spooky particle theory. Google that, like you'll go into a rabbit hole. Trust me, so be warned. Rabbit hole exists. So using these quantum premises, there are particles within me, there is particles within the animal, there is particles within the energies. The animal and I are separated by space, sometimes by time, especially if, different countries, different states, different time zones. I have an intention of sending healing energy to the animal for a particular purpose. That energy is transmitted through waves or particles or vibrations or frequencies to the animal. The energy then integrates into the animal's energy field and physical body. That's how it works. You might need to rewind and listen to that a few times. So before a session, I get information from the animal's human, including, what's going on with the animal, when did it start showing up, what would they like me to focus the session on. They send me a photo, obviously they send me the name of the animal. At the time that the session is scheduled for, I will tune into the animal, I will channel the energies, I will focus on and have intentions for the healing, the intentions for what I want the energies to do. Essentially, I am willing the energy to heal the animal, right? To support the animal, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. The session occurs using multiple energies. As I mentioned, I'm trained in multiple energy modalities, and so I will call in whatever energies best support the animal. And I basically offer sessions in 2 different ways. There can be more of an intuitive focus to it, or more of a physical kind of systemic protocol that I follow. So it depends on what you feel you would like for your animal. So I'm mostly working with animals who have physical health issues. So I use pranic a lot, and I'm using particular specific pranic protocols to support physical ailments. Sometimes people want to have more of that intuitive, and then I'll use more of the Reiki of the Seishem, and there'll be, more about me tuning in and feeling into what needs to happen and observing and witnessing and certain events that might be relevant to the animal's state. So much more intuitive. Now, I use multiple energies. I use color therapy. I use sound therapy as well. Now, as I mentioned before, I think when I was talking about Reiki, it is best to use energy healing as a complementary therapy. This is where the best results will be achieved. This is holistic, right? I'm all about holistic. If not, go back and listen to episode 2, Holistic Animal Care, where I touched on energy in that one. I would probably say I more than touched on it, like not to the level that I'm touching on today. We're going much deeper today. But when we talk about holistic healing, it's not just about the physical body, the emotional, mental, it's also energy, spirituality. Yeah, so I find that to get the best results, we do holistic care. We do the physical, mental, emotional, energy as well. Now, tips for balancing energy. These are going to be a combination of tips that for you to balance your energy, and for tips for balancing your animal's energy, but also remembering when your energy is balanced, their energy is balanced. When you're looking after your energy, you're also looking after your animal's energy. So even though the things are like I'm saying, you know, you can do this, you'll be like, oh, well, what about my animal? By you doing these things, that's going to help your animal too, right? So tips for balancing energy, there's a few. Exercise. Any kind of physical movement of the body helps with balancing energy. As your body moves, certain meridians, certain meridians and chakras are being accessed, touched, massaged, released, right? So the body is moving, the physical body is moving, and that is bringing energy into the body, into the chakras, along the meridians, balancing those energy channels and energy centers. Stretching, you know, if you want to do yoga, but any kind of basic stretching is going to balance energy for the same reason as exercise, because you're stretching certain parts of the body where there are certain meridians, where there are certain chakras. Massage and other body work modalities. Breathing. Sounds so simple, right? I breathe all the time. Intentional breathing. So you can breathe in patterns. Usually the breathing, when I said I take my clients through a relaxation practice at the beginning of a healing session for their animal, I usually will use a count of 6-3. And so basically what that is, you know, you shut down your eyes, you tune into your breath, you breathe, you increase the length and depth of your breath. You breathe in for 6 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counting silently in your head. And then you've fully brought that breath down into your belly. You hold your breath for a count of 3. And then you release that breath, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't count when you're breathing. You need to count inside your head. And then when you've released that breath, you hold the breath for 3 again. So it's literally breathe in for 6, hold the breath for 3, breathe out for 6, and hold the breath for 3. And repeat that like 4 to 6 times. You will notice a change in your state. You will be more relaxed, right? So when you're doing breathing exercises like that, you're bringing in life force energy. The breath is the closest we have to energy, right? And that breath is also coming in, filling up the body, filling up the chakras, helping to move things out, right? Move things in, move things out. Dancing, like I said, same with exercise. Any kind of physical movement of the body, it helps with balancing energy. I love dancing. Like I can shift my state so quickly with music and dancing. I generally need the music. I can't just like start dancing. I need the music as well. Speaking of, music is also a beautiful way to balance energy, particularly what is called mantra. Now, mantra are ancient healing sounds or syllables. I'm going to share one of my favorite mantra Spotify playlists with you in the show notes. Mantra has a beautiful ability to clear the energy in a space, whether it's a physical space or like an environmental space or your physical body space. So I generally will play some form of mantra every day. As an energy healing practitioner, I have to be more aware of energy. I have to have stronger energetic boundaries and pay more attention to my energy hygiene, because I'm working with other animals' energies, with other humans' energies, because I do very occasionally do energy healing on humans as well. And because I'm having access to all these energies, I need to make sure my environment is clean, is clear of those energies. And mantra is a beautiful way that I do that. Another environmental thing that you can do in the environment is incense or essential oils, especially sandalwood, sage, and frankincense. Really good at clearing the energy in the space. You can, even if you just pour a drop of sandalwood or frankincense on your hand and cover your nose and mouth and just inhale in that scent. Meditation, particularly meditations that relate to loving kindness. Loving kindness is its own separate category as well. And what do I mean by that? By practicing loving kindness with others. Thinking loving, kind thoughts, sending loving, kind energy out into the world. This beautiful, very effective tool for balancing your energy, for increasing your consciousness. Diet. Your diet relates to everything, including the fitness and health of your energy body. Grounding. And animals do this naturally. Like I said, they just know, they instinctually know where the good energy is in the ground or in the space, and they go there and they lie in it. For us, just go and lie on the ground, even if it's just the ground of your house, and visualize yourself lying in the dirt and being held by Mother Nature. You can also send out energy, like visualize, or if you're more of a feeling person, imagine the energy being sent out of your feet and out of your head. Send the energy out of your feet into the earth, send your energy out of your head up into the universe, God, source, spirit. Beautiful way. You can also call in the energy from the earth and call down the energy from God, source, spirit. So you can be releasing the energy and calling in the healing, helpful energies simultaneously. You can do a visualization practice with your animal. I will put this in the show notes. I have a free, I can't remember what I call it. But it's essentially a healing practice that you can do with your animal that connects in with your animal's brachial chakra. But separate to that, you can also visualize white light coming into your animal's body and dispelling any dirty energy out into the ground. You can imagine beautiful golden brown energy, red energies coming from the earth and dispelling any grey energy out. Many different things you can do for balancing energy. You can also work with an energy practitioner like me to access the healing energies that way as well. So I want to end, that's the end of today's show. I hope you've enjoyed it, but I want to end it really just by emphasizing the importance of looking after your and your animal's energy. The importance of maintaining healthy energetic boundaries, remembering we are exposed to energy all the time, and not all of it, a lot of it actually is not beneficial for us or our animals. Our animals have that innate ability to balance their own energy, but sometimes they need help. If they have a physical or a behavioral health challenge, they need help. Then they haven't been able to effectively balance their own energetic state. So they need help to do that. In addition to the physical help with healing, the physical therapeutics of healing the physical ailment, of supporting the physical body, they also need that energetic assistance as well. Regularly practice energy balancing. That is a really good way of maintaining healthy energy. And just going back on that, maintaining healthy energetic boundaries. If something doesn't feel good, don't do it. Trust your intuition. If something feels off, say no to that thing, that person, that situation. Really start to tune into how things feel for you. Your body doesn't lie, okay? Thank you so much. If you would like to explore energy healing with me, I'll pop a link in the show notes for some more information on my website, and also the page where you can book in an energy healing session. If you just want to chat about it a bit more, I'll put in there, you can just book a complimentary initial chat with me to see if that's something that might be, that might serve your animal. If you've got any questions about anything that I've shared today, there is a link to a feedback form in the show notes. You can click on that and pop any questions and things in there. I am planning for episode 12, which is the last episode of season 1. I would really like to do a Q&A show. At the moment, I don't think I have any questions to answer though. So whether it's this episode or any other episodes that you've listened to that have brought up questions for you, go to the show notes of any episode. You'll find the link to the feedback form and you can fill that out and pop your questions in there. Another thing is, if you like to watch these episodes on YouTube, just put your questions in the comments to the show. I'll get a notification that you've commented and I'll keep a tally of those. And as I said, I would like the last episode of this season, which is only a couple of weeks away. Can you believe it? This is episode 10. There's only 12 episodes in this season. So not the next one, but the one after. Please send me your questions, whether it's on this show or any of the other shows we've done so far, or even if it's on next week's show as well. Send them through to me because I would love to answer any questions that have been cropping up for you. Thank you so much. Take care. I cannot end this with sending you out good healing vibrations, good healing energies of love and light to you, sending you beautiful pink and gold energies to you and yours. Thank you so much.